Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial we'll write a Python program to print a number pattern. And today's number pattern is this. We want to print numbers in the right triangle shape and we want to print numbers in the descending order. The first number of our pattern is 15 here when number of row is 5 and the last number of pattern is 1. Shape of our pattern is right triangle and we want to print numbers in the descending order. So let's write the program. The first step in the number pattern program is we need to ask the user to enter number of row. So let's take a variable first and we'll use input function. Let's write a message. And here I'm using Python 3. And in Python 3 by default, this input function will take input as string value. But here we want number of row an integer value. That's why I'll convert this input to int using int function. Right, done with the first step of the pattern program. Next step is we need to print numbers in different row and column. For that, we'll use nested for loop method. First, we'll take for loop for row. Inside that, we'll take for loop for column. So, here row is the variable which represent row number. And in the range function, I need to mention how many row we want in the output. Here we want num rows. So, let's take num. Then, let's take the for loop for column to print numbers in different columns. For that, call is the variable which represent column number, and here in the range function I need to mention how many columns we want in each row. So it is a right triangle shape. So to print numbers or stars in the right triangle shape, we need different number of row and columns. Here I need to use the formula to calculate how many columns we want in each row when we are printing the numbers in the right triangle shape. Here we want row plus 1 columns in every row. So I already made a video on this. If you don't know how to print numbers in the right triangle shape, how to take number of row and number of column, you can watch that video. I'll give the link of that video in the description box. Done. We need num rows, that is the user entered input. And we need row plus 1 column, that is nothing but when row is 0, we want 1 column. When row is 1, we need 2 column, like that. That's why we need to take row plus 1 column, right? Done. Next step is we need to use print function to print the number. So let's print the number. Okay, till now in the program, we ask the user to enter input, that is for number of row. And these are row numbers. We'll take row numbers starting from 0. So this is the 0th row. In 0th row, we want 1 column. In row first, we need 2 column. In row 2, we need 3 column. In row 3, we need 4 column. In row 4, we need 5 column. So that is nothing but row plus 1 column in every row. That's why we used row plus 1 in the second for loop range function. And also we'll get this output when number of row is 5. Okay, num value is 5. This is row. Next, we used 2 for loops to print numbers in different row and column. Now we want to print number. How to print number? Here, I can get this 14 by minusing 1 from 15. That is the previous value. 15 minus 1 is 14. 14 minus 1 is 13. 13 minus 1 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10, like that. So we can get these numbers by subtracting 1 from the previous value. Why I am saying previous value? Because here, as I said, we'll print numbers in different row and column. And we'll print numbers in pattern program like this. We'll start from here. Okay, we'll print this. After that, we don't want any column here. So we'll go here. We'll print this. Then we'll print this. Then we'll go here. We'll print this, 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 done. We'll print number like this. That's why For 14, this is the previous value. For 13, this is the previous value. By subtracting 1 from the previous value, we can get the current value. But how to get this number, the first number of the pattern? How to get this? When number of row is 5, we'll get 15 here. But if number of row is 4, we'll get different value here, like this. If number of row is 3, we'll get different value. So how to get the first number in this patterns? So I already made a video on that, how to calculate the first numbers in the right triangle shape when we are printing the numbers in the descending order. I will give you the link of that video in the description box. You can go and watch that. The formula which we used there is simple. What we'll do is, so we'll consider this as a square pattern, and first we'll calculate total places present in this whole pattern, that is 25 here, 5 rows and 5 columns, so 25. Then we'll calculate number of spaces. Here it is 10, so 25 minus 10, that is 15. So we'll get the first number of the pattern. So for that we'll use the formula like this. If I take number of row as num, the formula is this: num plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, so I already made a video on this, how to find the formula to calculate the first number of right triangle shape when we are printing the numbers in the descending order. Video is in the description box. So let's use that formula here. So let's take a variable num plus 1 divided by 2. And here, because we used division method here, output will get is a float number, but here we want integer numbers, so let's use int function here. Then we'll print that number, and you can take end is equal to space to print space between the numbers. End is the parameter in the print function. By default its value is /n. Here I'll change that to space. Here again we'll use print function to print different row in different line, and we are done. Okay, let's save this and execute this. So now to get the remaining numbers, we need to minus 1 from the previous value. So here value minus 1. Now execute this, and here you'll get the output. You can format these numbers using format function here. Format just take a number of space as 3, and here you can see the output. And here is the output. Alright, so this is about this pattern program, how we can print numbers in the right triangle shape in the descending order. Okay, so that's it for now guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in next class. Till then, take care.